the bookstore open for a year. We actually opened our doors a year ago, last Wednesday, October 8th. And it's been really, really fun and exciting. And I'm so happy to have met, people through the store and had readings and stuff like that. So we're going to open the evening, just start with Tony Morris is going to play some guitar for us. Tony is really famous, and he plays the guitar all over the world every day because he's the host of Classical Guitar Live, which is not just broadcast on KMFA, it's broadcast all over the world. He also is a screenwriter, he also produces TV shows, and he also plays for hospice children. So it's a wonderful, wonderful man and a great talent, and I feel really lucky to have him here. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you. I'm just going to play a mixed bag of stuff and hope you like it. That's a piece by a Brazilian composer, Carlos Aguirre. It's called Bahia. Bahia is an area in northern Brazil, so that has a certain kind of rhythm. It's a conga drum rhythm, so that's what that's based on. I was in Brazil in 2010 and in Paraguay also, and a kid played it for me in a class. I said, I'm going to learn that. So anyway, this next piece is from Spain, early or late 1600s, by Gaspar Sanz. He's a court musician, and And it's a dance that originated from the Canary Islands, and it has a real distinctive rhythm. A lot of Spanish music uses this rhythm that goes like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which has a nice $5 word name called a hemiola, so, which sounds like a blood disease, but it's not. So, oh, and I always assumed the Canary Islands, that's where the little yellow birds come from, and that's true, but they weren't named for that. I found out later it's the Canine Islands, the Dog Islands. There was like when they were rediscovered or whatever by the Portuguese or the Spaniards, there are all these dogs running loose on the islands, so it was the Canine Islands. And it just happened later, there's these little yellow birds that were there also, so that's why we think of canaries, but it's actually the Dog Island. So, and that what I just said is longer than this piece. So. I'd like to play just a little short mini set. Stay. That I call 500 Years of Popular Music, but it doesn't take that long. So the first piece is the oldest one. It comes from around 1550 from Spain. It actually originates in the late 1400s. There's another vihuelist musician, Luis de Norais, who wrote out an instrumental version of a famous French song, Mille Regrets, by Josquin des Prez. And anyway, he used to play it for the emperor, so it's now, this version is known as Song of the Emperor, because he used to play it for the emperor to help him go to sleep every night. So. And this one jumps ahead to Catalonia, which is presently in Spain, but perhaps not too much. From the late 1800s. It's harmonized by Miguel Llobet, who's a Spanish guitarist, and it's El Noi de la Mare. It's a famous Catalan folk song. And this is a very short, and since it's very short, I'll play it and another song back to back. The first one was it's an American song written by Pappy O'Daniel. And it's consistently ranked on the lists of top 100 songs of all time as far as popularity. So I thought it'd be a good one to learn. So that dates from around the time of the Depression, and the one after that comes from the late 60s, early 70s. I'm not sure the exact date. And it's a British song, which may be familiar. Next I'll play a piece by Agustin Barrios Mangoré. He was a Paraguayan guitarist who lived from 1885 until 1944. He had one of these crazy lives that if you were to just write as a story, everyone would say that's too fantastic, it's not believable. But in his case it is. He lived at a time he saw where the world was changing. For example, one of his first jobs after he got out of college, he got a full scholarship in music when he was 15 and dropped out. But one of his first jobs was to play organ in silent movies in Buenos Aires, which were brand new in the world at that time. 1 year after motion pictures began and were first shown in Paris, 1 year later they're in Buenos Aires. So that was his first job. So he wrote several of the greatest pieces for the guitar repertoire. He's among the first guitarists of all styles of music to make sound recordings starting in 1913. And even though he was a great virtuoso, he had several career setbacks that were devastating to him. One was he got a really nasty concert review, and another one was he played a concert in Buenos Aires, no one came, and then the next week the young Andres Segovia came in town and everyone came to that. And there was a move to create a position at a conservatory in his hometown in Paraguay with him as the head of it, but then that was revoked at the last minute. So with nothing else he knew how to do and no options, he started traveling north, and he changed his name and he adopted a disguise. Since he was part Guarani Indian, he spelled his first name, Augustine, backwards, so he became Nitsuga, and he adopted the last name Mangoré after a Guarani Indian from the conquistador times who, according to different versions of the legend, he had this adulterous affair with the wife of a Spanish captain, and he was put to death for it. In some versions they both were, but so he'd walk out on stage bare-chested in a loincloth, dressed as an Indian, to these kind of disapproving murmurs. And because he was so great, he would win over the audience every time, and he became this huge hit. Just playing for the common people in Brazil, and then going north, he ended up in Venezuela. He was so popular in Venezuela that they put out a Mangoré cerveza. So, and there's a great book, a biography of him by Richard Stover called 6 Silver Moonbeams, that has a brand new illustration. It's a photograph of a concert announcement, and it's in Spanish. And the first half of the evening's program is a silent movie. It's La Fantasma dell'Opera con Lon Chaney. And then the second half is a concert by Mangoré. So there's a picture of Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera, and then him, dressed as Chief Mangoré. Another piece by Barrios. It's an early piece he wrote when he was in his mid-20s. It's called Isabel Gavat, and it's unpublished, but he made some recordings during his lifetime, and in 2009, one of the pieces that was unpublished that he had recorded turned up in an antique record store in Buenos Aires. So everybody in the guitar world was really excited, and there's a race on to okay, who can write down the notes and transcribe it and play it first. So anyway, this is to the best of my ear's ability. How it goes. So when I was was listening to the recording, there was one thing in it that I couldn't figure out for a guitarist. It has this chord, but it has this note ringing across, and I couldn't figure out how in the world he's doing that. I was like, how's that? And then I realized, oh, it's... I was like, oh my gosh, you never do that on guitar. So anyway, he was definitely his own originator. So anyway, here it goes.